I want to talk about Ultimate Endgame. So in a week of already bad finales to comic books or manga, in the example that I'm about to use, Marvel decides to serve us up Ultimate Endgame number 3, which is a series I'm already not huge on. And we get far and away one of the most disrespectful issues of comics I've ever seen before in my life, and this is following one of the most disrespectful endings to a manga I've ever seen before in my life. I'm talking about Chainsaw Man. So we start off this clusterfuck of an issue with a conversation between Mary Jane Watson Parker and Richard Parker, her son. I like this. I think it's good. We didn't see a lot of MJ as a parent in Ultimate Spider-Man because it was mainly focused on Peter, and it wasn't actually really focused on Peter a lot of the time. It was focused on Harry, and Harry's not a parent, and Harry wasn't interacting with Richard. Richard was off fucking with Black Cat. So it's good to see MJ be a parent. That's cool. I like seeing that. That's what I wanted more of in Ultimate Spider-Man, but I digress. We get it here. It's great for the one page that it's there. Actually, I think it's a quarter. No, it's 3/4 of a page because the bottom is dedicated to the paper, which ironically, so was most of Ultimate Spider-Man. So we get that, which I think is pretty neat. Neat idea. I like seeing that. And we get Vision, Ultimate Vision showing up and reminding us that this is a crossover book and not just a continuation of Ultimate Spider-Man. And Ultimate Vision's a complicated character. Ties into the Wasp betrayal arc, which I'm not big on. I feel like they kind of wasted that with the arrival of Ultimate Vision, but I digress. Ultimate Vision says that he has the Reddit Nation with him, the Ultimate Network, where they're kind of uprising in every city around the world or whatever, and they're trying to tear apart the Makers Council, and it's working so far, which is great to hear. I like the Shang-Chi stuff with Iron Fist. I think that's cool. Ultimate Wolverine fucking sucks, and I think everyone knows that. Um, and I really like the Luke Cage stuff with the prison riots and stuff. I think that's really neat and really inspired. However, this leads into the Ultimate X-Men showing up, and they're drawn by Terry Dodson, which is something that should reasonably never happen. It looks bad. It's ugly to look at. And they all feel kind of like Superman Spider-Man came out today, and if you've read it, you know what I'm talking about. Superboy Prime is written in like a very boomer writing Gen Z dialogue thing, which I don't know how Dennis can't fuck that up because he is on Twitter. We know he's on Twitter, and he should know how people of the younger generation actually talk, but I digress. Also, this reminds me, May Parker is a character, and she has not been mentioned in since the ending of Ultimate Spider-Man. But she wasn't even substantially used there, so I don't know what the fuck they're planning on doing with her, but it's whatever. After that, I got my notes on my iPad here. This is a scripted video because I needed to get this off my chest. Um, Venom shows up, which we've already seen in Ultimate Spider-Man with Richard and him having the Picotech suit. But here it feels like a cameo in like an MCU movie. It feels like something that's supposed to get people clapping and like jumping up and like keys jingling. I feel like there's keys jingling in front of my fucking face. And this plays into a bigger problem. I'm going to get more into it later on because I have a lot more to say. I am primarily a Spider-Man fan, and I know what Spider-Man sounds like, and Camp cannot write Peter Parker. Camp writes Peter Parker like Dan Slott writes Peter Parker, but more quips, and less taking it seriously, and less stakes. And there's one scene where we get a nugget of Camp trying to take it seriously, where Peter's trying to motivate Tony, and he's like, "I'm a father, and I'm sorry about what happened to your father." But there's just, it's empty, it's hollow, because the next fucking scene, he's already doing quips again. Then we are reminded of the inevitable Doom double cross, which is dumb because we just came off the heels of the Wasp double cross, which was already not executed well. So let's do another one. Fuck it, because this fight this ultimate in-game fight with the Maker in the city has been laid out exactly like the JJK Sukuna fight from the end of the manga, and I'm saying, because I know I'm not fucking crazy for saying this, because this is how it feels, because this whole issue falls into the same pitfalls as it. Doom is gonna double turn and he fucks over Kang, who's here. Yay, everyone! Kang, you remember Kang from Ultimate Invasion? We've been building him up. He's gonna, and he stops time and he beats the shit out of Doom's guy, out of Maker's guys, and you're like, yeah, 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 Kang, woo! And then Doom kills him. What? Now is he going to stay dead? There's no way in hell that he stays dead. But also, there's a hell of a line said by Spider-Man and Doom in this exchange where they do the unless dot 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 meme with Spider-Man about his impending death. The X-Girls show up and they have the cute moment with Eric Killmonger, who also shows up, and I assume they're gonna get sucked into the city eventually to, you know, do the JJK Sukuna thing, add a new character, keep the fight going. They come to even up the odds. Then the Maker's like, actually, this falls into my evil plan, and I knew this was going to happen from the beginning. All that bullshit. After Kang is killed, the Ultimates are kind of tweaking out. They're like, what the fuck is happening? And Doom's like, well, I think Tony was actually no, it was Chavez, America Chavez, and she goes, I think Tony's actually calculating something. I don't think he's like uh fucking in a vegetative state after his dad hated him or whatever. And off the back of that, we see Tony's eyes turn blue or something, and it's super cool. And it's like, okay, hype moment, aura, let's get this shit. And then throughout the issue, they've been building this black goo that the Maker sends out, I assume, and it breaks through one of the barriers put up by Kang whenever Doom kills him, and it goes into Spider-Man's Picotech suit, and the Maker gains consciousness with it and turns it into Carnage. And Carnage proceeds to clown on Spider-Man, and that's nothing, that happens all the time. But it's a meta clowning. It's not like a genuine, oh, you're lame, Spider-Man, and your jokes suck. It's like a meta commentary on Ultimate Spider-Man specifically, a character who already feels like potential man. Like he feels like he's already been bullied enough as is. And Carnage comes out, makes fun of him, and it feels like Camp is saying this because if you read Ultimate Incursion, you can tell Camp does not like Peter Parker. And he specifically really doesn't like this version of him because Carnage makes fun of him and then eviscerates him, kills him immediately. And after saying, this was inevitable, you knew this was going to happen. Like, it was a meta commentary on the fact that people were like, yeah, Peter's probably going to die because he's old. And then Carnage says, you want to know why you were picked first? It means nothing. You mean nothing. And then he kills him, and it's disrespectful. That's the most disrespectful shit I've seen in comics in a minute. And it was just Camp looking right down the barrel of the camera and going, I don't give a fuck. This shit sucks. They canceled the universe early. I don't care anymore. This shit doesn't matter to me. And if it, because people already are like, it's a fake out, it's a fake out, it's a fake out. I think it's a fake out. But that's not good writing. Because this whole series has been fake out, fake out, fake out, double turn, fake out, death, fake out, fake out, fake out. Stuff set up in Ultimate Incursion. Actually, no, we're not doing that because Hickman didn't tell me what to do, so I'm just going to say fuck it. It's much like Star Wars Episode 7 in that regard. But Star Wars Episode 7 wasn't the end of the franchise. I digress. And then we end the issue after Peter is brutally murdered and made fun of, with Mary Jane and Richard crying. MJ's crying because I assume she somehow knows that Peter died. I think the email got sent to her, but they're 4 years ahead in time. It's not really explained. I don't fucking know. Camp likes to do this shit where he says a lot of sci-fi words in one panel and then never elaborates on it. So you just kind of go, okay, compartmentalize that, whatever the fuck. And we get this email at the end from Peter to be sent to MJ in the event of his death. And I think it's really sweet and actually really good and really well written, and I like that a lot. I feel like that feels more like Peter than anything Camp has written of Peter. Um, However, following up this fucking issue, it does nothing to wash the bad taste out of my mouth. This is not good. This is not a good book. Issue 2 was bad. Issue 3 is worse. This is not a good book, and I know I'm gonna get the accusations of being a salty ass Spider-Man fan. I get it. Maybe I am. But I'm also a fan of good writing, and this book does not show it. It shows convoluted ass pulls, and I don't like it. I'm not a fan. I've seen many other people who agree with me. A lot of people are dissatisfied with this storyline, and if this is the death of Ultimate Spider-Man, the absolute generational fumbling from Marvel of their best-selling book of the last 10, 15 years. Um, I'm sad, I'm disappointed, and this has kind of disillusioned me with Marvel as a company. I mean, that's kind of crazy to say, but it's the truth. I loved the Ultimate Universe, and then they consistently fucked it over. And it breaks my heart to see the creatives who had a vision for this, like Chichetto, who put his whole heart into drawing Ultimate Spider-Man whenever he was on the book. And especially, this is especially who I mean, Peach Momoko. She put her whole energy, her being, it felt so personal. Like the styling and the art and the storytelling and the fact that Ultimate X-Men was such a specifically Japanese story, it felt different. It felt powerful. And it didn't get anything conclusive because it's a Marvel book. It has to lead to a big event comic. And it has to wrap up in a big dramatic way with all these twists and turns. And I hate that. I want conclusive endings. I want endings that feel satisfying. They don't have to be happy, but they have to make sense. And that's not what we get from Ultimate Endgame number 3. And I can't lie, I barely have any remaining interest in the Ultimate Universe and seeing this end because it feels like a car crash that I'm in and it just keeps looping. Anyways, that was the end of my first in-person video on TikTok. If you want to hear more of me ramble, check me out on the Lobby podcast and the Bagged and Boarded podcast on the Lobby channel. Thank you all for watching. Thanks for listening to this white boy ramble about fake picture books. I love you.